Good morning, sober friends. Welcome to One Sober to Another. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. Today's daily reflections, making amends for September 11th, 2020. Let's get after it. First, I want to say it's September 11th, 2020. On this day in 2001, our world was affected in a way that will forever change its landscape. The people and the actual places. There are so many who suffered and lost their lives in the events of September 11th, 2001. It's almost unimaginable. The consequence was dire, and I actually released a video for it, and you can look for that on the card above, or just go to One Sober to Another on YouTube, and you'll be able to see 9/11, the hidden costs. Today's daily reflection, making amends. Above all, we should try absolutely sure that we are not delaying because we are afraid. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 87. To have courage, to be unafraid, are gifts of my recovery. They empower me to ask for help and to go forth in making amends with a sense of dignity and humility. Making amends may require a certain amount of honesty that I feel I lack. Yet with the help of God, and of course, you can replace that with the higher power of your choosing, and the wisdom of others, I can reach within to find the strength to act. My amends may be accepted, or it may not. But after they are completed, I can walk with a sense of freedom and know that for today, I am responsible. Amazing how September is unfolding with amends and rigorous honesty. Today's daily reflection, makes me remember that there is courage in admitting your faults. And you may not be able to do that completely by yourself. And if you are able to reach deep within, again, inward, as I have as an alcoholic and a recovering alcoholic, to make your amends, whether someone accepts them or not, because like I've said in the past, not everybody's going to accept your amends. They're not ready to hear you say how sorry you are for something that you did when you were drinking and how it affected them, because they've heard it on deaf ears many times. I'm certain that when I was drinking that I messed up somebody's life to the point where, they don't even want to hear me. And that's okay, because that's probably deserved. If they don't accept my amends, I don't have to hang my head in shame, because I've cleaned up my side of the street. I've admitted my point of failure and I've admitted my faults. And that's all I can do. To have courage and to be unafraid are the gifts of my recovery. Fear of people and economic insecurity, part of the promises is that will leave us. And as we grow in our sobriety and we continue to recover, we don't have to be afraid or fearful of what someone is going to think by us making our amends to them. Because we've walked a long time, I know I walked a long time in fear of what people thought and what people might, how they might respond. And I'm able to grow through that in my recovery. And I'm sure you can relate to this too if you've made an amends or if you've simply just admitted you're an alcoholic. There is strength in saying, I am an alcoholic. There's no weakness in that. And for someone to hold on to that as a sign of weakness is going to keep them in the same state that they're at. And normally I don't direct outward too much, but this is how this daily reflection applies for me. They empower me to ask for help and to go forth in making amends with a sense of dignity and humility. Humility is not hanging your tail between your legs, so to speak. It is to be able to look at the reality that you are not as great as you once thought you were in your alcoholic state. What I mean by that is I know I had fantasies of grandeur, and, I placed myself on all these pedestals. And not only did that create a lot of anxiety for me, but it put pressure on me to have to do certain things. And that led back to more drinking for me. But to have the dignity and humility to be able to admit my fault is one of those things that are going to move your recovery forward. And, just like I said before, in cleaning your side of the street, and quite a few other ones in the last couple of daily reflections. And you can go through, daily reflections on my channel, and you can see those. We have to be able to grow from our mistakes, and the only way to do that is to admit them. And if you've harmed somebody, just admit your faults. And it's not an easy thing to do, but it's possible. And if you just ask for the wisdom, from people who have made amends before and who have, been able to gather that strength in order to confront the person that they've actually harmed, then you can take from them, how they did it and how they went about it, as well as ask your higher power for some guidance. In my video, Making Amends, that's exactly what I did when I had to, make amends to my father, for the things that I did to him, but he did a lot of things to me as well. And I was able to not look past it, but accept it for what it is and move on, and still be able to say my part, my fault in it, to him through a letter, of course, if you've seen that video. And being able to do that is your new freedom. You are able to let go of those burdens, and you are able to, confront those demons that run around inside your head, so to speak. And I said so to speak twice. And just move on. You can finally put that situation to rest as long as you're able to confront it and make your amends. And if you aren't able to now, that's okay. Later on down the road, you might be able to gather the courage and strength in order to do that. Just don't ignore them. If you have, situations that you have to clean up from your past, it's important to do that to be able to grow in your recovery. And you do that through making amends. That's the way I've done it, and countless others before me. That's all I have for today, and I hope that you have a very good day. And I hope that if you're not sober, you are able to take from this channel. And if you need help, there are links below that you can reach out to. I'm one sober to another. We're here for you. And I hope that you all take a moment to have a moment of silence for those fallen and those families who still suffer from survivors of the events of 9/11, as well as the service members, men and women across the world, and emergency responders who still deal with the impact of that terrorist attack on our nation in 2001, September 11th. I love you all. Have a good day.